Today I'm going to show you how to do your very own Michael Craig Martin edit on Photoshop. The first thing that you need to do is you need to open up your Photoshop or Photopia and create a new document. Okay, you're then going to go to the internet and you're going to find your picture of your outline. I've chosen some scissors. All I've done here is copied and pasted it into Photoshop. To edit this, I clicked Command T, where you can go to edit and transform to edit the size. Make sure you click on the shift key so it all aligns, it doesn't stretch. Once you've got the right size, click enter or deselect or select and deselect, and then we're going to change the colour of the background. To do that, I've got a picture of Michael Craig Martin's work and I'm just going to use the dropper, the eyedropper tool. I'm going to pick a colour straight from Michael Craig Martin's work. Go back to my own, make sure you selected your layer 0 or your background, and I'm going to go to my paint bucket tool and I am then going to just add in my colour in the background there. You can change this as many times as you want, and then you've got your 2 layers. Now you can cut out, and I'll show you how to do this, cut out your scissors by selecting and going to subject, so it just selects the subject, and then you go to select and inverse, and then you can delete the background area. Now with this one it's not quite worked as well because some of the scissors have been removed there, so I'm going to select and undo all of that and select and deselect, but just so you know how to just select one section of this. Okay, so for the next part we need to make it into a Michael Craig Martin style. To do that we need a new layer, so click on new layer and make sure that your actual new layer is selected. That's really important. All I'm doing there is I'm zooming in, so I'm just doing my command, my plus. You can zoom in on the left hand side at the bottom, and I've clicked now on my pencil tool, so I'm drawing it. I've gone to the drop down at the top, I'm selecting the size of my pen, my pencil tool, and I'm going to start to draw. Now I've just noticed when I start to draw here that the colour, it needs to be selected black. It's still the background colour there, so I'm just going to undo that. I'm going to go to the bottom, click on the black and click OK. Go back to my pencil tool and can start to click. Now when you start to do this, you're going to click and you click down and hold down your shift key, and this will keep it all in line. It'll create a continuous line instead of having to do it all as separate little tiny clicks. This will extend with you. In a moment I'm going to skip and I'm going to go straight back to the end of this, so you don't have to see me going around the whole of the tool or the object. So the idea is that you go around all of the object really carefully in your black outline, and so you are just left with your outline there in the style of Michael Craig Martin. For smaller sections, if it needs to be slightly more rounded, go to that bit there. So here I've skipped straight to so I've done most of the outline, and I'm just now going to do this circle area. Notice I've zoomed in even more. So I'm going to go to my circle tool. You can see how much I've done by just clicking on the arrow of the picture, and you can see the outline there, what I've got left to do. So I've gone to the selection tool there, selected a circle. I'm going around that, or I'm just changing the thickness of my line there. So I'm going to go around that circle, change the shape to make it fit. This is just a quicker way of going round your tool, instead of, if you've got like circular objects, instead of having to go and do tiny little snippets using your pen tool. Going back to my pen tool now, make sure you are clicked on the correct layer, else it won't let you do it. And you're going to just select the rest of that just to give it a more of a 3D effect. So going along, and then the next bit as well. So just zoom out slightly. so you can see the rest of your, and I'm just going to deselect that so you can see I've got all of my outline there already done. What I do need to do is make sure that the ellipse layer and the layer 2 are merged together, or else this won't work. So I'm just going to merge those layers. All I did was back click there and then select merge layers, and so then they're both together. I'm going to go back to my Michael Craig Martin, and I'm going to go back to the eyedropper tool. I'm going to select the colours that I would like to use in my scissors. So I'm having a good think. Contrasting colours are really good, so I'm going to go for these purple, switch it with that little arrow on the left, and then select another colour. So I'm going to go for my turquoisey kind of colour, go back to my normal edit, and then go to my paint bucket tool, and I'm going to start to put in my colour. Now I've just noticed what's happened is on my image seems to be a gap, so when I get to a certain section there, try and add in the colour, it all goes one colour. So what I need to do there is go back to my pen tool. I need to zoom in and find out where my gaps are. I need to make sure there's no gaps, so I can see my gap there. I do need to go back and add in black. I can see that I've done that. So I need to click on the little square at the bottom, select on the black, and then click OK. And then I just need to fill in those tiny, tiny gaps. So I think I've got a couple of them. And then it shouldn't leak, so the paint shouldn't leak through. I've got one at the top here as well. So once you've filled in all those gaps, you can zoom back out again, and you can start using the colours and playing around with all of those colours and changing those. So I'm just going back and I'm just selecting again my eyedropper tool, going back and getting my turquoise back. So I've got the exact colours that Michael Craig Martin uses in his work. So I'm going to go back, go to my paintbrush, so drop down and go to my paint bucket and select the section so there's no leaks now. If I want to switch, there's a little arrow to switch my colours, and I'll just click on the arrow. It's just above those two little squares on the left hand side. You'll notice me do that in a moment. So click on that switch button there, and the purple will become the dominant colour, the one at the front, and I can start to select everything that I would like to now be that purpley colour. And that is how you create a Michael Craig Martin edit. Make sure that you save it afterwards. And that's it.